Hello everybody, my name is Jimmy Orthouse, and this is going to be a little documentary you guys are about to watch on the Joel Hill Sawmill located in Equinox by Duck Harbor Pond. It is now a little recreational area, kind of like a little house development. But the Joel Hill Sawmill was built back in the late 1800s, around the time of the Civil War. So it is a very old sawmill that was actually in production up until 1974. This documentary is going to be a mix of videos of a guy named Tim that showed me around the whole building, gave me some information. It's actually pretty cool. The sawmill actually has a group of people known as the Brotherhood of the Mill, and they maintain it and keep it running and everything great like that. And it's amazing to see them do that because it's a great part of our history that should be saved, and it's overall, it was a cool experience. The videos, some of it will be a little dark and hard to see, some of it might be a little blurry. Again, I apologize, as I was trying to be very respectful to them and not shove a camera in their face and say, hey, tell me everything about it. So I hope you guys enjoy the documentary. It's not too long, it's not too short, but let's get into it. From the white beautiful snow to even the nice green grass in the springtime, the Joel Hill Sawmill is a beautiful place for everyone to visit. The place was built with blood, sweat, tears, and hard work. When you were working in the Joel Hill Sawmill, you had to be prepared and couldn't be too much of a dummy. Even I could be able to work there. From the quiet pond to the rushing waterfall, everybody would love to be there at the moment that you were there. No one would rather be anywhere else.
Building was rock foundation. And many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, they came in here and they had to do extensive repair work because this building had been damaged in a flood years ago.
Okay.
You can see a big I-beam up here?
Yeah.
Okay. That was all done to basically save this building. And he put a lot of time, effort, and money into it.
From the ancient foundations that were built back in the 1800s to even what is there today that they had to fix a couple years ago. It is an amazing place to just be with friends and to see come to life. While the sawmill was last in production in 1974, it is still being currently used every once in a while for demonstrations to all that want to come see it in the summertime and a couple times in the fall. In 1898, Joel Hill had purchased the sawmill from the Holbert Hares, who had owned multiple sawmills in the area, for a sum of $6,500. This area surrounding had 1,500 acres of timber and also a 205-acre body of water, now known as Duck Harbor. Right here you can see there is a group of guys that are currently cutting a log that will be used as wood in the future. Later in this documentary, you will see how this whole contraption works and explained by Tim, the guy that is running the contraption. The sawmill was powered entirely by water in belts. When the winter arrived and froze and stopped the sawing operation, it was time to get some of the timber together for next year's sawing. Loggers and farmers would bring in logs by horse-drawn bobsleds, as seen here. The sawmill pond needed 6 feet of water to provide power and to float the logs. 1/2 hour before saw time, an employee would remove stop logs from the discharge channel at Duck Harbor Dam. This allowed the water to flow down to the sawmill pond. To apply power to the sawmill turbine, a wooden gate in the sawmill dam was raised. This channeled the water into a 28-inch diameter pipe leading to the turbine. The pipe is called a penstock. An interesting thing about how they got the logs into the sawmill was by a guided rope. The way the rope was used is it was on a big wheel with hooks on the end, so they would feed the rope out into the logs, hook them on, and then there was a balance that would move on the weight and move the wheel onto another wheel that was connected to the center axle that would drag the logs in with lots of force. Back in the day, the sawmill could actually cut up to 44-foot logs, which was actually pretty impressive. The saw blade was 54 inches in diameter and ran at 850 RPMs. I will now let Tim explain most of the big details about the sawmill that makes this place as interesting as it looks. Before we continue, again, I would like to say I apologize for any dark or blurry footage for the rest of this documentary.
And the second weekend in August, and then the first Saturday in October, we have scheduled sawing in tours. And, you know, it's actually lumber.
Yeah.
See how this is moving? We roll the logs onto these. Then they set you down with this. Hold it in place. And then you adjust this carriage for how far you want the how thick you want the cut to be. Yeah, you see that carriage runs all the way through the saw blade. Right here. You see the saw blade?
Wow.
Okay, that whole thing flies. The entire thing slides. At one time, there's like wheels that it rides on. And the log gets all the way through the saw blade. The board drops off. You run this thing back. And you readjust it. Bring it so you get the next one. All right, when this sawmill was first built, past down here, retired.
Yeah, I've seen the videos of it, and I've wanted to come see it in person, but it seems like a very cool experience to see.
How far away do you live? Pieces of equipment that operate in this sawmill. The main blade, okay, and this thing is called an edger. Okay? Now, when the boards come off, they're kind of rough like that. And we run it through this machine here. See these saw blades? See the blades here? Watch how I can change position of that blade. You see that?
That is neat.
Okay. So the board comes off the log and it's about 12 inches wide. And you want the board, you want a 10-inch board. You just adjust this to 10 inches. You run the boards through here and it takes the edge off either side of the board.
Okay.
Okay? So they call this an edger.
That's pretty cool.
And on this back side, see this chicken belt?
Yeah, that thing is big.
This belt is what powers this saw blade here. Okay? And there's another belt that powers this. See that belt?
That is a big belt.
Okay.
Definitely bigger than my car.
Now I'll take you downstairs so you kind of understand what's in there. But you see the pulleys and stuff?
Yeah.
Years ago there was another workstation here that they used to cut stuff and toss it out. I don't know if this was for firewood or what. But if you come over here you can look below. There's a couple of things to say. You see this thing looks like a rain trough?
Yeah.
There's another one right here.
Yep.
Okay. There's a tremendous amount of sawdust
Oh yeah.
produced. Well, there's a belt in this big long trough right here.
Oh, I see that,
It's a
yeah.
belt. It runs all the way up there and it's directly below the saw blade.
Okay.
And when the saw blade's running, that belt's running.
And it takes it
the
all.
sawdust drops into that trough, and it gets drawn all the way down to the center of the building, and it gets dropped down below.
Oh, okay.
Lower low.
That's pretty cool.
And this particular trough right here gets the sawdust from that edger.
Okay.
And feeds it in. Now, there's an extra thing. It's hard to explain, but this is an over-center balance. Okay?
Okay.
And you see that great big rope?
Yep.
Okay. Upstairs, up out there by the saw, where that rope is, on the end of the rope there's these big hooks. And they used to drag the rope all the way out to the pond, smash the hooks into the logs, and they would engage this rope, and it would pull the logs from the pond.
I remember reading about that. Yeah, I remember reading about that online. That was one thing I remember reading about, and I thought that was really cool.
Okay, and you see the windlass right here. You see the with the rope on it.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna drop down another set of stairs. You see this great big wheel?
Yep.
Okay. You can visualize when this wheel turns how it would pull on that rope, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, now here's the thing you gotta, this big axle is the main shaft for the power in this entire operation.
That is crazy.
Okay? And if you'll notice, you see that very small pulley right there?
Yep.
Okay, and then the great big wheel. If you come here a little bit, you can see there's about a ½ inch clearance where that big wheel is not making contact.
Yeah, I see that. That's cool.
You know that thing I told you?
Yep.
Over center?
Yep.
Okay. If they were using that rope and they dragged it out there and hooked it onto logs, there's a big lever, and the lever would counteract this weight system, causing these two wheels to come into contact with one another,
Okay.
which would make the windlass turn and draw that in.
That's what would give it that much power, was you throwing it against the main power it
That's
would.
right. And you see, you get a lot of mechanical advantage because that's a really small wheel and this is a really big one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at how big this belt is.
Yeah, definitely a lot bigger than your belt
See how
in
big
your car.
the pulley is. This is the belt for the main saw blade.
Okay.
Okay. See this belt over here?
Yep.
That's the one for the edger. All right. Now be very careful when you walk over here. Come on out here because this is really interesting.
I love hearing the waterfall in the background.
See these two big?
Yep.
Okay. This one here, all the way, it goes all the way down into the turbine at the bottom. This big long axle. And look at the teeth on that hub. They're wooden. The teeth on this is metal.
Okay.
Right? And the reason for that is that's the safety device on this whole mill. If the saw blade were to bind up, those wooden teeth would
They'll break
shear
right,
off.
break right off. That's a genius idea.
Now, I've never seen that happen, but it could happen. Now, here's another handy little item. See this goofy thing?
Yeah. See, it runs over there to another one.
All right. You see the very small shaft that runs down?
Yep.
This is how you control the baffles on the turbine.
Okay.
Up there by the main saw blade, there's a big steering wheel. And if you rotate the steering wheel, you're turning this thing, which opens and closes the baffles on the turbine. And
Okay.
that's how you control whether or not this thing's operating. Okay, now we'll walk down by the waterfall and I'll show you the turbine, okay?
All right.
That belt is the one that runs in that sawdust trap,
Okay.
okay?
How this building was built.
I don't know if you get a good shot of this thing or not, but see those two pieces?
Yep.
They were horse-drawn to haul logs. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And this one is very unique in that this drawbar, the drawbar was designed that if you're going downhill and the sled started going faster than the horses, it would engage. You see this metal thing?
Yep.
That would engage and it'd be like a brake.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Because you don't want the sled catching up to the horses.
Yeah,
So that's pretty unique.
that's pretty neat, actually.
All right. Now, here's something that building was rock foundation. And many, many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, they came in here and they had to do extensive repair work because this building had been damaged in a flood years ago.
Okay.
And you see a big I-beam up here?
Yeah.
Okay. That was all done to basically save this building. And he put a lot of time, effort, and money into it.
And it's a good thing they did, because
This is the turbine. See that very large pipe on the other side?
yes.
All right. It's called the Comstock. Up there by the dam, it's connected to a cistern. And the cistern has about 20 feet deep water.
Yeah.
Great big volume of water. When the guy up there wants the saw to run, and he opens the baffle on this, the water starts flowing down through this, and it turns.
Okay.
Okay? And the pressure of that water hitting the turbine and spinning it is what spins that center axle.
Okay, and that was the one that was connected to those two gears, the one with the wood and the metal. Okay.
So that's where this thing gets the power to run the object.
Okay.
And one of the first projects that I was involved in at this mill, we tore this thing apart.
Ooh.
Because it was broken. And we had a guy come in with welding equipment and stuff, and he had to make repairs for it.
I see that now. I see with some of the bolts there are new, or newer.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of work down here.
Yep.
Okay. It's dropped from up there in the cistern to down here. It's probably 25-foot drop. So that water
Is fast.
exerting a lot of pressure on that turbine.
Okay.
And it develops enough power that it spins that turbine, spins the saw blade 750
That's fast. Okay.
Okay, so when we're operating the mill, the scrap, we throw it out here on this, and that's how we get rid of the scrap.
Oh, that's a cool little cart.
But this, at one time, that trestle ran all the way out to that barn. Because you saw the big pile of wood that we had up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Back in its heyday, when they were cutting wood, you put it out here on these on this trestle, they'd run it all the way down to that barn, and they'd stack the lumber in that barn.
Okay.
And that barn was, you know, the lumber could cure and dry in the barn.
Yeah.
Before they shipped it out. And then from the barn, they used to take this over to the Delaware River, ship it out of here on the Delaware River.
That's pretty neat.
Now, there's a little house. You can't see it, but it's right there in these pine trees, just the other side of this building.
Okay.
Very small little house. And that was where the Sawyer used to live, the guy that ran the mill.
Oh, okay.
This was, you know, years
Yeah,
and years ago,
yeah.
when this place was in operation. Okay, come on in here. Get this floor. This is what, when you turn this wheel, that's what opens and closes.
Okay. That.
So I was telling you, it's like a big steering wheel. Now you see this lever?
Yep.
All right. That lever operates.
Operates the whole thing.
Okay, and here's what happens. The turbine only spins in one direction.
Okay.
Okay? So when you're cutting a log, you pull on this thing, which causes that carriage to run that way.
Okay.
You're done cutting the log, you push on it to reverse to get the carriage to go that way.
Okay, okay.
And if you'll notice, what that does is it still comes off the same power source, but it reverses the carriage.
Okay. And now, what is this bar for? This lever here? For the rope, okay.
Okay, remember I told you?
Yep, the rope for the for grabbing the logs out of the pond.
We do not utilize that. We don't use it. All right, and here's the reason why. You saw that weight that it was.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 year, long time ago, the mice ate the rope that was holding it.
Oh.
And that wheel downstairs was engaged. Oh. And they had drawn this. Here's the big hooks. See the hooks?
Okay, and that's what went right into the log.
They had these hooks pulled all the way out there by the pond.
Okay.
So when they open this up to start the saw blade, because that rope was engaged, this thing came ripping in here like nobody's business. It did a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So we have that basically out of the system. We don't utilize that. Years and years ago, that end of this building was open.
Okay.
And logs used to come in from that pond out there. And they used to be able to cut 40-foot logs here. Now, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Because of the way that we bring the logs.
Yeah, you bring them in right here and just put them on.
So we usually do just 8 to 10-foot logs.
But still, that's still impressive. 40-foot logs back in the day.
They cut some serious logs.
Good luck finding somebody to cut you 40-footers today. It can be done, but there's not a lot of guys that will do it.
But my grandfather, just telling this your son?
Yep.
I'm telling your dad, my grandfather came here in the late 30s and had 32-foot stick, 8x8s. You put an addition on the barn.
It's still standing, right?
Yeah.
All right, this was one of the original turbines. Okay.
Okay, I see. It's a lot smaller than the one that's there now.
No,
Same thing.
This is identical to what's down there. This contraption is inside that big globe.
Oh, okay. So that's what's inside, not the whole thing. Okay.
This is the shaft that's powering everything. Okay?
Okay.
When this spins, that spins those 2 bull gears up top.
Okay.
This is what's connected to that smaller shaft.
Okay, the smaller one, yeah.
And when this rotates, do you see what's opening and closing? You see this?
The veins, okay.
You see that?
Okay, yeah.
That's opening. See that?
Yeah.
And the water hits here and spins it.
Okay, so the water goes, okay.
All right. So if you close this, the water is not, it's not getting in there.
Okay, that's neat.
See that? Looks like a steering wheel right there?
Yeah.
That's the mechanism that opens the veins. It goes all the way down through the turbine in the basement.
Yeah.
All right, now come on out here. You get a picture of the hot stuff.
Okay.
There. Closest to water, that lifts and opens a gate,
And that's...
and the gate fills up with this tank.
Okay.
Okay? All right, now the water in this pond is not very deep. There's not a lot of water in this pond. And what happens if we start up this mill, if we start spinning that saw blade, that waterfall stops. Okay? Because all the water's going down through here.
Okay.
All right, so on a day when we're going to operate this mill, we need more water than we got in that pond. So where do you think we get the water?
Fire department? No?
Where Duck Harbor is?
Yeah. You take it from...
Duck Harbor's a 200-acre lake.
Okay.
There's a dam at this end of the lake. And the spillway from that dam feeds this pond.
Oh, okay.
So on a day that we're going to operate this mill, we go up there to that dam, and and we open up so that there's more water flowing over the dam from Duck Harbor.
Oh, well that's pretty interesting.
And that gives us sufficient water to operate this mill.
Yeah.
All right? Operate. In case you got any mechanical aptitude?
A little bit, not too much though.
That's the engine from like a Model T. And it spins that saw blade.
Okay.
Okay? And look at what it's on. See how it's on tracks?
Yeah.
Like a sled?
Yeah.
So why would they have a saw blade on a sled?
In case you got it.
Ice.
Yeah.
Okay? Years ago, like before your grandpa's time, they didn't have refrigerators. They used to cut ice in the wintertime and store it up and save it so they had ice for the summertime. And they used to use this thing up on Duck Harbor Pond to cut up ice.
Can't leave it on Adelaide now. We're down here not that long ago.
Right?
Yep. Right there by the lake.
Yeah. All right, well, I don't know what else I can show them, Bob. I think you've got... Yeah, Alan is caretaker. You know,
I just want to give a thank you to all of you guys that watched this documentary on the Joel Hill Sawmill. I thought it was a pretty neat place to actually go to. I also want to say a thank you to Bob, Tim, and everyone at the Historical Society of Equinox for allowing me to be able to come out there on a pretty short notice and be able to film and get a little tour of the place. If you guys ever want to go visit, I'll put links down in the description to see the Equinox Historical Society website and all the dates where they're open and you can go see. They do it on special requests, so say if there was a school field trip to there, they could open up for that. But let them know that I sent you if you do happen to visit. And they do have a museum that is open in the summertime for old equipment that was used back in the day. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.